Good morning, good morning. This is the Coatomc, aka Joseph Anthony Norman. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but just want to encourage you to get your physical exercise in, get your mental exercise in, and always build your spirit. Today we're gonna hook up with Jacobe over there. You see him right there? He's a realtor here in Midland. The best realtor, huh? Number one realtor in Midland, okay? We're gonna see how he lists the house, lock boxes, just learn about real estate, man. So fly with me, come on. We decided to pivot. The oil and gas industry isn't the only industry in the world. And 4 weeks ago, I was a well technician. Last week, I wrote my first hit single, Quarantine Lover. And this week, I'm being interviewed by CNN. So, all of this is the opportunity to pivot to something different. It's the opportunity to spread joy, love, and peace and hope. And that's what I'm trying to do. $5 million. Let's go. Mr. Kendrick, what's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing really good. Welcome to a listing. We're getting ready to go on the market. So
enjoy this moment.
Enjoy this moment. This is enjoy this moment. This is your life.
So are you gonna stage this house? Because I didn't know it was empty.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna stage this one. So sometimes sellers, they decide to stage a house, sometimes they don't. That's up to them. There's a lot of different opinions and a lot of different numbers on staging. So depending on what perspective you're coming from, but that's all a factor you take in when you're selling the house, on the price and all of that. So what we're doing today is we're just walking through. We had the house cleaned. We're doing all the pre-listing checklist and all that. So before you come on the market is the absolute most important time before you sell your house. So you gotta prepare, get everything ready before you actually come on the market.
Make sure it looks nice, huh?
Make sure it looks right, because when you first hit the market is the absolute most important time whenever you're selling your house. So.
Nice picture. This looks just like a friend of mine's. I think it's the same square foot. Yeah, this is excellent. Do the washer and dryer come with the house?
As you know, in real estate, everything is negotiable. Someone on this one left the washer and dryer here, so that'll be an option for potential buyer on this one.
So doing my practice test and everything on online. Is the washer and dryer considered a fixture or
That is a great question. So a fixture, the real definition of a fixture basically is anything that is attached to the house, right? So whenever you're purchasing a home, single family home or residential real estate or whatever else, a fixture would be considered anything that's attached to the house. So the range normally stays, but it's not attached to the house. Mm-hmm. And then your refrigerator is often a lot of times what comes into contention when you sell a house as well. So that's one that we always talk about. But so for instance, this right here, they left, but this is attached. Even though the seller attached this would stay with the house. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they left it here. And then things that you want to keep that are attached to the house, we call them reserved items. And so those would be items, if the seller wanted to keep this, I don't know what we call this, a little rack or whatever it is, then we would just put that as a reserved item for the seller, meaning they're reserving it they're gonna remove it at the sale, and then they would basically take that off, and then they would have to fill all the holes and spackle it and paint it, make sure it looks like the original there. So yeah, that's how fixtures and that thing works. So anything attached to the house would be considered a fixture.
And this is a 3x2?
This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath.
So four bedroom.
It's on a huge lot too, in a cul-de-sac as well.
So that's I know for a guy like myself, a cul-de-sac is special because I have children and people don't want all of that traffic.
That's exactly
So
right.
are you thinking that you're gonna sell this house to a family?
Could be. You never know. Could be. You know, that, like you said, whenever you market, you put cul-de-sac in there, and that is attractive to folks with kids. You know, I've got kids myself, and so my first house I lived in, we lived on a through street. And, you know, whenever they go out to play in the front yard, people are driving through, and sometimes people are paying attention, sometimes they're not. And like, if you're a dad, that's like one thing that's always on your mind, right?
I'm telling you.
Is like people coming through. So what's really attractive to families, and even attractive to people who don't have kids as well, like they might have pets or whatever else, is like nobody's gonna really be driving down the street unless they're coming to one of these houses, or they're coming to stay, or you're lost. That would be another other reason to come by, right? And so that's the kind of the advantage of cul-de-sacs. That's why people like them. You're not gonna have a lot of traffic, people coming through, and then if people are coming through, then you can see who they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Or are they dropping off the mail?
Or what?
Dropping off the mail?
Yeah, they dropping off the mail or something. They got something to do if they come in a cul-de-sac.
For sure. Oh, it is, huh?
Yeah, so it's a nice shape here. So it is at the end of the cul-de-sac. So you got this whole area here. They even got the fence there. If you had like a trailer or something you wanted to pull in, they've got the gate there so you can pull it in. And you got this whole section right here.
Oh, wow.
Good spot for a pool too. If you wanted to put in a pool for a hot summer,
This is a big lot.
This Texas summer.
Okay, I got a good question. I like the size of the lot. Does the minerals come with this particular house?
On this particular house, the minerals do not come with this house.
Okay.
And so the previous owner actually reserved the minerals before for this house. So a lot of times some sellers don't know if they have the minerals or not. And even if they are reserved, sometimes the sellers don't even have the rights to reserve the minerals. So you would need to either go to talk to a landman or talk with the title company whenever you go to sell the property to see if you even have the rights or if you own the minerals on the property. So
Right.
yeah.
Because the best deal I ever made was when I sold my house, or when you sold my house. I reserved the minerals, and in the middle of a damn pandemic, bro, I got a $12,000 check.
$12,000. You probably negotiated a good deal though.
I did.
I haven't heard anybody who got that good of a deal, even when oil was at a better price. Actually, because the lot you had was smaller than this one.
Right.
And for you to get $12K, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was like the balance had accumulated over like a year and a half.
Oh,
so they gave me
so
a
it was
big
in an
check.
account because they have to put it in an account.
Right.
And then when they found you, they paid you all of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when I signed the lease, I got $3,500 up front.
Gotcha.
And I got a 5-year lease, and I held back 25%. Most people got 17 and a half.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I negotiated hard, but they came at me hard.
That's good. Man. Yeah, I was gonna say because 12K. So it had accumulated. 3,500 is about. So most people are like, the number I usually hear is like 2,000. 2,000. So 3,500 is pretty good.
Most people on the east side, they was offering them $200, bro.
I understand. Yeah.
So,
knowledge is power.
It is.
And so that's why I'm in real estate. Because people don't get a lot of great information, and you might sell 1 or 2 houses, so you need someone who's going to be looking out for you. So a realtor is actually a fiduciary, and a lot of people don't know what a fiduciary is, but what a fiduciary is I'm in a position where I have to do what's in your best interest, meaning I even have to put your interest above my interest. So I can't do anything that benefits me before it benefits you. And so if I'm doing anything like that, you can actually take legal action against a realtor if they're not putting your interest above everything else. So,
Right.
And that's exactly what you're talking about.
And you looking out for your client. That's your number one interest.
That's exactly right. I'm an education guy, so I like to educate people on the process and how things work for them and how you're gonna get the best deal you can get.
Right.
So like I can educate you, but I can't make you do anything, right? But if you have the information, and I also like to tell people what's gonna come next, and so that's one reason why like the pre-listing, what I'm doing right now is so important, because when you know or have an idea of what's gonna happen, or you can anticipate what's gonna happen, you make better decisions. Right. You know what I mean? And so that's what I think is the whole ball game, especially when you're buying and selling real estate, large investment.
For me,
for you,
a guy thinking about, well, I've already made my decision. I'm gonna be a realtor. I'm gonna go ahead and get my license. What is the best advice that you can give someone new that's going into real estate, wants to represent buyers and be a fiduciary? What is some advice that you can give them?
The best advice I can give you is get educated, get smart. Real estate is changing, right? And so what I tell people is the rules to real estate have changed. So whenever I go and I talk to buyers and sellers, because everyone has one of these now, it's different than what it was in the 80s, in the 90s. And so, some people are working on bad information, or they're working on how things used to be, right? And so the thing I say is always be learning, always educating yourself, and always working with people who are like in front of the trends, in front of the market, and figure out what's going on. That's one way that I've been able to be so successful in the beginning of my career, because I haven't been in that long, but I go and I seek out folks that are successful and they're doing those things. And so that would be my advice, is that just go out, find out who's actually doing business, doing things, and just go learn from them and listen to your clients. And so the way what I learned is I want to help people, and I see what their problems are, and then I go find solutions to those problems. So that's the biggest thing I would say.
I love it. I think the COVID that pushed everybody towards, it forced you to go technology route.
It did.
And I think it was always available. It's been available for like 10 years, you know what I'm saying? But it just like fast forwarded it and just.
That's exactly right. Man, you gotta adapt. So you either adapt or you die. You're always adapting, or you're either going forward or you're going backwards. There is no like in between phase. And so exactly what you said is COVID has caused everybody to figure out what's coming next. So I'm looking, I'm watching, trying to figure out how we're doing things and what's coming and how to stay in front of things. And so everything has changed, right?
Yep.
Everybody talks about going back to normal. We're not going back to normal. We're just living how things are, And so if you're not looking at things that way, then you're gonna get left behind.
So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all joining us today. If y'all want to hit up Jacobe, I'll leave his link information in the description below. But he's one of the best the best realtor. Let's go ahead and say it. The best realtor in Midland. He can get your house sold. He can help you find a house. All of that good stuff. But anyway, you want to tell them anything, how they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me Bjj Realtor on Instagram, and then the Bolt Real Estate Group on Facebook. So just search for the Bolt Real Estate Group or Jacobe Kendrick as well, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you got.
For sure. And yeah, he will put you in a chokehold and choke you out. So don't be trying no funny stuff, all right? All right, man. We'll catch y'all later on the next one. Always remember to pray, fast, and meditate. Peace.
You gonna buy it?
I don't have enough money.
I'll just get a loan, man.
From who?
I told you,
Anybody.
Maxwell, how that works. What happened when we played cash flow? And it said you got a $100,000 house. It makes $250 a month, but you got to put $10,000 down. What? Yeah.
You probably got a buddy at school that one of their parents will help you out.
Oh, for sure.
Relationship.
That's what it's all about.
3 different phone numbers.
3 different phone numbers, 3 different signs. That's the key right there.
Here's the same